What is up, everybody? VitalSyntax here, playing some more Modern Warfare 3. This is going to be a class setup video. Most of my classes are pretty similar, so it won't take too long. Main thing I want to talk about is the Specialist package. So, my first class is the ACR. ACR is by far my favorite gun in the game so far. Let's go in the primaries here, ACR 6.8. Alright, so here are your options for proficiencies. These are basically, you get these from leveling up your weapon. You can see my weapon level is 24 right now for the ACR, and you just level that weapon up by using it more and more and more. So right now I'm using the Focus, which reduces flinch, similar to Hardened Pro from Black Ops. That's a great option. Kick is also a great option, reduces the recoil. Stability is good for snipers because that removes the sway. Impact is also a good option because it seems like shooting through walls and stuff is very effective in this game, because I don't know, it just seems like it's more effective in this game than it has in past games. And 2 attachments probably the way you want to go if you have something like extended mags and silencers unlocked, which is the setup I'm going to be using once I actually unlock the extended mags of this weapon, which I don't have yet. But I'll show you with my Scar class I have that set up. So for now I'm using Focus, which I think is probably the best one to use if you're just using an assault rifle. So Focus, I'm using a silencer. I don't have extended mags yet, that level 26, so I still got 2 more levels to go. I really like the iron sights on most of the guns in this game, including this one, so I don't feel the need for a red dot sight or a holographic sight. The heartbeat sensor is also a great option, but I like the silencer because I like to stay off the radar as much as I can. And I'll show you I'm using Assassin in my one of my extra perks for the Specialist package, so I can stay off the radar even more. And it feels like the silencers take off less range than they did in previous games, but I might just be used to them or something. Skin, I like blue. That's one I have unlocked. Obviously, you can get up to gold, which is nice. You don't have the prestige anymore to get those gold camos. You have to get level 31 to unlock it. I'm just using the blue one. Alright, so secondaries, I always use the Stinger just because I have no need to use something like a machine pistol or something like a handgun, because also in my Specialist package I have Scavenger. So launchers, I like to stick to the Stinger, help take down the enemy air support. You actually get 2 Stingers, unlike all these other ones. You're running it small, and the Javelin you only get 1. RPG you probably get 2, but they don't lock on. Stingers lock on only to air, so you can't actually shoot it at people, but you get 2 of them. So best launcher if you want to take down air support. So let's see, going to lethal. I really like the Bouncing Betties. So they're similar to a Claymore in the sense that they blow up when an enemy walks by them, but they're different in the fact that you can throw them, number one. They can be set off from any direction, and they can also be avoided, though. So the Claymores, the only way to avoid them is to back up around a corner, get cover, which you hear they don't have time to do, or I guess run past it, which is still really hard. But the Bouncing Betty, you can go dive to prone or just go prone and you actually avoid it. So if you ever hear a Bouncing Betty go off, or you see one and you accidentally walk over, just drop down on the floor and it won't kill you. But I like the Bouncing Betty because you can just like throw it. It's like throw and forget. The Claymore is a better option if you want to be a little more campy, hold down one position and have it watch your back. Bouncing Betty can do that as well. It's just not quite as effective because people can avoid it a little bit easier. But it's nice for just running and gunning because you can just throw it down in a hallway or in some busy part of the map and just kind of leave it there. And every time I spawn, I basically just throw it as close, somewhere that's close to my spawn point, so that I always have the chance of getting a kill with it. Because I mean, if you don't throw it and you die, there's no point of even using it if you're not going to be throwing it. Tactical grenades. I've heard people saying that flash is the way to go because now concussion throws just as slow as the flash grenades, but I actually think the concussions are much better because the concussion effect has been increased immensely. You can barely move, and when you aim down your sight, you still can't move. In previous games, it wasn't quite as that much of an effect, and when you aim down your sight, you can move around a lot more. But the concussion grenades, I think, are still a lot better than the flash grenades, because when you get flash, you can still spray around randomly and still kill them. But when you're concussioned, when you're hit with a concussion grenade, you can't do anything unless they're right in front of you, obviously. So I've been using the concussion grenade. Okay, so onto the perks. My first perk I'm using is Sleight of Hand Pro. Second perk I'm using is Quick Draw, and third perk I'm using is Steady Aim Pro. So the reason I'm using these, at least these two, the second perk and the third perk, is because I'm trying to have the best advantage for going into every single gunfight. So Quick Draw, you can aim down your sights faster, which is a huge thing. when you're going a one-on-one situation, because you can usually get this first bullet off. That means that they're going to get some flinching, and they're probably going to miss some of their shots. On top of that, I also have the decreased flinch proficiency. And then steady aim allows me to hip fire better, but on the pro version, you actually it's like lightweight pro for Modern Warfare 2. You actually aim down your sight, or you recover from sprinting faster. So if me and an enemy are both sprinting, I'm not only going to aim down my sight faster, I'm actually going to recover from sprinting faster. So I'm going to have an additional advantage on top of that. So these are probably the two best perks you want to use for having the best advantage on one-on-one engagements. Now, Sleight of Hand Pro I think is also super important, because although I don't switch weapons all that often, the Pro version really isn't that helpful to me. Modern Warfare 3 has very small maps and very, very, very fast-paced gameplay. So you're running into people over and over and over and over and over. And I think Sleight of Hand is very important, because you always want to be reloaded. And it's even if you take cover and you're trying to reload, there's usually a guy that's coming around a corner or something like that. Alright, so this is where it gets interesting. Moving on to the strike package. I use the specialist one, at least recently I've been using this one a ton. A couple reasons behind that is everybody else on my team is using assault and support, so there's tons of UAVs. I don't have to worry about calling a UAV in. There's so many UAVs in this game. That's one of the reasons why you see Assassin as my first specialist perk. But on top of that, it feels like the assault ones, like sentry gun, attack helicopter, Reaper, although they're somewhat good, it feels like I only get 1 or 2 kills because there's a lot of indoor maps. There's also a lot of close quarters, so there's like tight corridors, so it's really hard to get air support to do damage, because there's so much cover in the maps and they're so tight that there's corners people can get behind. And on top of that, a lot of people are running stingers and anti-air stuff because they're used to having tons of air support from Modern Warfare 2. So I usually only get 1 or 2 kills from something like the Reaper. The Pavlo is one of the I get a ton of kills whenever I use a Pavlo, like at least 4 or 5 or 6. So that's a 12 kill streak. I mean, I rarely get a 12 kill streak. So I've been sticking to the specialist package. And what I've been doing is this order right here. For 2 kills, I get the Assassin Pro. For 4 kills, I get Scavenger Pro. And for 6 kills, I get Stalker Pro. Now, the reason I have it set up in this order is because, first of all, I really, really, really need Assassin Pro, because there's so many freaking UAVs in this game. But I don't want to have it as my default perk, because I want that advantage in every single gunfight I go into of aiming down my sight faster. So I set it up as my first strike package reward. Now the next one is Scavenger. I don't need Scavenger until I'm low on ammo, and I'm usually not low on ammo until I've killed about 4 people, so that's a perfect place for it. The one downside is you don't get the advantage of Assassin or of Scavenger Pro. Once you unlock that perk, if you get to 4 kills, you don't automatically refill up to max ammo. Like Scavenger Pro is supposed to give you, max ammo, but you still can pick up the blue packets and get more ammo, so that's totally fine. And I usually rarely run out of ammo before 4 kills. The next one is Stalker Pro. Stalker Pro is probably another really good perk for going on one-on-one engagements, but I do think steady aim is probably a little bit better just because of the recovery from sprint and the hip fire. But Stalker Pro, I mean, if you haven't used it yet, it makes you move, at least the base part of it, not the pro part, makes you move faster when you're aiming down sight, like very, very fast, like faster than a submachine gun in previous games. So even with an assault rifle, you can strafe left and right really fast, and I actually think they should tweak it and bring it down a little bit, because people are moving around way too fast. But I have that as my 6th perk, so that once I'm all set up for avoiding the UAV, I've got ammo and everything, I can move on to that and be a little bit faster, be a little bit more aggressive. And then once you get 8 kills, I believe, 2 more after this, although it doesn't say it here, you actually get all the perks, every single perk in the game. That means recon, sleight of hand, all of these other perks. Every single one, not just the ones you have selected. And at that point, you're very, very hard to kill. I mean, you feel like, I don't know, it feels like you get I don't remember if you guys remember Crisis 2, but you could get the Nanosuit 2.0 and you were like a super soldier and it was really hard to kill you. It feels like that. You can run around super fast. It feels like you have extra armor and things like that, but I don't know. I've really liked the specialist package. That's what I've been using. Let's see. Last thing I guess is Death Streak's been using Final Stand, although rarely ever get to use it. I haven't tried out this one. It's pull out C4 before death. Hollow points, I'm guessing, is increased damage. That'd probably be really useful. But anyway, moving on to my next class, are basically all the same. You can see I'm using the same kill streaks, same, or I guess not kill streaks, specialist packages, using the same perks and everything. Really the only difference is I'm using an MP9 as my secondary for my sniper class. But you can see on my Scar L I'm using the silencer and the extended mags to bring it up to 45, which is very, very good. On the note of snipers, let's pull up the snipers here. I've been really liking the L11 8A for quickscoping, or just like one-hit kill sniping like that. Although I've had a lot of success with the RSASS, which is a single shot, it kills in 2 shots. But oh my gosh, you can shoot as fast as you can pull that trigger, and it has very little recoil, especially with the kick perk on. So I really like that to run with a silencer. I feel like I'm more of a aggressive. I could be more aggressive than I can with something like a bolt action, because if you miss that first shot, you're basically screwed. But this game does very, very well if you want to do quick scoping, so it is kind of fun to mess around with something like the L11 8A, which is basically the L96. So that's about it, guys. Oops, do not want to join the private match. Hopefully that helps some of you guys out. If you guys haven't checked out the specialist package, definitely throw that on. I've heard a lot of people also suggesting to run Hardline as your base perk so that you can get your specialist perks a little bit faster. That's a good option as well. I kind of like the setup I'm using right now myself, but yeah, if you guys have any suggestions or you have any cool classes that you've been running, feel free to leave a comment, and maybe I'll test it out for myself. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you guys in the next video. Bye.